Good afternoon. I am Rick Long, the Military Affairs Installation Coordinator, and I bring greetings on behalf of Jocelyn Emmalyn, the Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. As a veteran myself and a parent of 4 military children, it is my honor to be here today and MC today's event. We thank you all for joining our department and the city of Jacksonville as we celebrate the 4th North Carolina Military Child of the Year semifinalist recognition event. Please welcome our host for today's program from the city of Jacksonville, Councilwoman Dr. Isabella Washington.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Mayor Sammy Phillips and the Jacksonville City Council, I want to take this opportunity to say welcome to the city of Jacksonville. Today we are hosting the 4th annual of the North Carolina Military Child of the Year semifinalists and finalists recognition ceremony. This is a wonderful occasion. In 1986, then Secretary of Defense Caspar Weinberger ordained the month of April as the Military Child of the Month. So with that being said, we are here to pay homage, to pay recognition to North Carolina's Military Child of the Year. We will learn through their histories and their narratives some of the overcoming challenges that as military children they face on a daily basis. We're going to learn about their personal journeys, their personal struggles, but in spite of those oppositions and barriers, we are going to learn how they was able to excel extraordinarily to the best of the best in the state of North Carolina and representing us. So on behalf of Mayor Sammy Phillips and the city of Jacksonville, we welcome you to our 4th annual event. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Washington. Please stand, if you are able, for the recital of the Pledge of Allegiance, led by our Military Child of the Year finalists, and then remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Mike Wise of the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chaplain.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome all distinguished guests. I'm looking over at this side. We are glad you're here, and because you're here, we're here. And again, I bring greetings from the Coast Guard. That would be on the far right as you're looking at it. And the funny thing, and Rick mentioned, I was glad I was in there, I'm actually Navy, pretending to be Coast Guard. But I started as a Marine. In the year of our Lord, 1981, straight from Paris Island to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Served there 2 tours as a Marine and 2 tours there as a chaplain. And I say that because I love to come back to my old stomping grounds and to be here on this event. And I think Sergeant Major knows it well in what he does. But yesterday I do a lot of events. I cover the whole state. I'm the only active duty chaplain for the state with Coast Guard. So I was on stage yesterday with 8 stars. And when I mean that, I don't mean famous people. Well, maybe they are. But with a 4-star and 2 2-stars and then the old chaplain. And I want you to know, especially you in the front row, I looked forward to this event much more than I did the event yesterday. Let's just, is that on camera? Okay, sorry. Let us pray. Our loving God, what a blessing for all of us to be here for this special event. In a day, in an age where there's plenty of sad news or pain, how wonderful to gather together and celebrate something good, something pure, and something noble like we are here today. Father, we thank you for each of these young people and their families who are here this afternoon. They didn't get here by accident. This recognition isn't being given to them. It has been earned by them and their families. We thank you for these young people and the values and the characteristics they've demonstrated and that have been recognized by others to bring them to this place. All of us adults understand that it isn't getting any easier for our children to exemplify honor, respect, kindness, and other admirable traits. So when we see it, when others see it, we need to stand up and applaud it. Loving God, we not only celebrate these young heroes, but we also celebrate their families too, because none of this happens in a vacuum. We thank you for the parents, the families, the coaches, the mentors, the teachers, the siblings who have all had a part in the shaping of our finalists. Lastly, Father, we thank you for all who had a part in planning, organizing, and preparing this event. In your most holy name, I offer this prayer. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. Thank you, Chaplain. It is my privilege to introduce Secretary Jocelyn M. Millett, Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, to provide welcoming remarks. A third-generation service member, Jocelyn was honored to accept Governor Josh Stein's nomination to serve in this role. As Secretary, Jocelyn leads the department in its mission to support the military community in North Carolina, including the active duty personnel and their families, installations, and adjacent communities, and to support the state's veterans and families. After graduating from the Air Force Academy, Jocelyn served as an intelligence officer and then as an attorney in the Judge Advocate General's Corps after graduating from the University of North Carolina School of Law. After her 10 years of active duty service, Jocelyn started her civilian career as an attorney by clerking for the Honorable Barbara A. Jackson of the North Carolina Supreme Court. Following her clerkship, Jocelyn spent 6 years at international law firm of McGuire Woods as a complex commercial litigator. She is married to Harold A. Millett, who is a licensed architect, and she is a proud mother of 2 hilarious and lively toddlers. Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary Jocelyn M. Millett.
Thank you, Rick. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Governor Josh Stein and the North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, it is my honor to welcome you all to today's celebration. I also want to thank Operation Homefront and the city of Jacksonville and everyone at my staff who had a hand in making this event happen. Celebrating military children is deeply personal to me because of who I am. I am the proud granddaughter of a Vietnam veteran and Purple Heart recipient who retired as a first sergeant in the United States Army after serving for 26 years. I'm the proud daughter of an Air Force colonel who retired after 30 years. And as Rick said, after graduating from the Air Force Academy, I served on active duty myself for 10 years. And lest I forget, I have 3 uncles who are Marines, who all told me to join the Air Force. So, okay. So when I was asked to be a part of today's celebration, I eagerly accepted the invitation because as a military brat, and then as an active duty service member, and now as a disabled veteran, I understand basically every aspect of being part of a military family. I remember when my dad was a squadron commander at Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, and my sister and I had to ride the bus from the base into the city, and they refer to us as the base kids, if it was a bad thing. I don't think it was. In fact, I attended 8 different schools from kindergarten through 12th grade, so I know firsthand the resilience, adaptability, and strength that it takes being a military child. But the young people we're celebrating here today have exhibited that resilience, adaptability, and strength, and then some. They have excelled in scholarship, whether it was Noah Davis winning Best Essay in the entire state of Alaska, or Isabella Garcia earning her associate's degree 2 months before graduating from high school. They have excelled in extracurricular involvement, like Aiden Nolan, who was a senior class president, and Emmalyn Buskirk, who is a championship swimmer. They have processed and understood the impact that their parents' jobs had on their personal lives and development, like Anthony Rick Williamson, who understood that his family kept a low profile off base due to his father's top secret job. Or like Campbell Huff, who viewed the multiple moves as a way to expand his network of people. They've demonstrated courage and bold leadership, like Emily Baldeosingh, who addressed a crowd of 350 adults and children during a conference as she shared her personal story of triumph through pain, and Isabella Smith, who received a national award for her student leadership and civic responsibility. These young people have persevered to overcome personal challenges, like Hannah Kirksey, who overcame ADHD and dyslexia to be number 33 out of 250 students in her graduating class. These young people already know an important lesson that some adults don't even know. And that is that there is little joy in doing things to please others or simply to attain accolades. Like Harley Rower, who worked hard on the swim team and said that she did it for self-satisfaction and to make herself proud, and she still won an award for her improved abilities. These young people have excelled as global citizens, like Nevaeh Giosi, who already has developed the ability to view the world through the lens of other cultures. So these young people are extraordinary. And as the mother of 2 toddlers who is just trying to teach her kids how to consistently eat with a fork instead of their hands, I can only pray that my children will someday grow up to be like any one of you someday. So congratulations to the semifinalists and to the 2 national winners. And before I sit down, like the chaplain did in his beautiful prayer, I have to acknowledge that you all didn't get here by yourselves. We know that there are entire villages of loved ones and supporters who have lifted you all to where you are today. So please join me in thanking all of them. So in closing, I want to leave all of you with the greatest lesson that I have learned as a military child. Being a military child is a superpower. Being a military child, being one of the base kids, is a superpower. So use your superpower to continue leading with courage and boldness. Use your superpower to inspire others and to make this country an even better place than your parents have envisioned. So welcome everyone to today's celebration, and congratulations again to our extraordinary young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. At this time, Mr. Howard Lattimore will provide a congratulatory message on behalf of the North Carolina Department of Instruction Superintendent Maurice Green. Mr. Lattimore.
Good afternoon. And as Rick said, I'm Mr. Lattimore. I'm the state military consultant, but I'm just a country man from Charlotte, North Carolina. And after I graduated from Miles Park High School, I enlisted into the Army for 3 years to get some money for college. Well, that plan didn't work out too well, because 21 years later, they say I can retire. So I retired after 21 years as an Army guy, infantry guy. So I bring greetings and congratulations on behalf of State Superintendent Maurice Green, our North Carolina Superintendent of Public Instruction. And we also extend our gratitude to Operation Homefront for their dedication to recognize and celebrate our military-connected students on their resilience. And resilience, we do not use lightly, because as Secretary Millett says, some of you have overcome some physical things that you had to overcome and persevere through, and some of you all had death in your family and everything that you had to persevere through, so your resilience, and we appreciate your resilience. In January, there was 105 semifinalists that were selected, and 11 here were right here in North Carolina, and I think that deserves an round of applause. So we are incredibly proud of you and your accomplishment and the positive impact that you're doing on your community, in your communities. We can't wait to see the amazing things that you achieve in the future. So Emily, Noah, Harley, Isabella, Emmalyn, Nevaeh, Campbell, Hannah, Aiden, Anthony, and Isabella, we see you, we celebrate you, we congratulate you, and we salute you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lattimore. At this time, we would like to recognize some of our distinguished visitors here for today's program. From Congressman Greg Murphy's staff, Mallory Armstrong and Jada Mulkey. Representing the Department of Public Instruction, Mr. Howard Lattimore. From the City of Jacksonville, Councilwoman Angelia Washington and Ron Massey, City Manager, and Terrell Blackman, Assistant City Manager. We'd also like to recognize our partners who have volunteered their resources, personnel, and time supporting us and honoring the North Carolina semifinalists. And those are the City of Jacksonville, Operation Homefront, the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, the Carolina Panthers Community Outreach Program, the Carolina Hurricanes Foundation, the United States Coast Guard, and the United States Marine Corps. And lastly, the family, friends, and community members of the Military Child of the Year semifinalists from North Carolina that are here today or watching. With April being the month of the military child, we're gathered here today to recognize 11 Military Child of the Year finalists from the great state of North Carolina. The North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs established today's event with the help of the city of Jacksonville to not only recognize those military children from North Carolina who are semifinalists in Operation Homefront's 2025 program, but also acknowledge all military children supporting their service members and families in North Carolina and all around the world. When looking at the achievements of all Military Child of the Year nominees, it takes a special individual to make it to the semifinalist level, and we are proud to have this opportunity today to recognize these outstanding military children. As Mr. Lattimore took a little bit of my thunder, I was going to say the numbers as well. So the competition itself starts out with, there were 700 total nominees, down to 105 that made it to semifinalist level, and 11 from the great state of North Carolina. The Military Child of the Year semifinalists from North Carolina are, and I'll ask you to stand, please, when I say your name, from the United States Marine Corps family, Nevaeh Giassi. I'll ask hold applause. I'll have everybody stand up at once. Hannah Kirksey from Sneads Ferry. Aiden Nolan from Swansboro. Isabella Smith from Hubert. Anthony Rick Williamson from Camp Lejeune. And from the United States Air Force family, Isabel Garcia from Vass, who cannot be here today. From the United States Coast Guard family, Emmalyn Buskirk. Noah Davis from Camden, North Carolina, and Harley Rower from Moyock, North Carolina. And from the National Guard family, Emily Baldeosingh from Havelock. You may be seated. As mentioned earlier, we will acknowledge there were 2 semifinalists from North Carolina who actually were award winners from their branches, and that was Emily Baldeosingh for the National Guard and Isabella Smith from the Marines, and that's pretty awesome. Today we have a special music selection. The song is I Am a Military Child. It was written by Miss Farinda Pierre, a Department of Defense education activity preschool teacher at Tarwa Terrace Elementary School here in Jacksonville. She cannot be with us today, but the lyrics are printed on the back of today's program.
Move on to a new school. I keep the memories in my heart. The tough decisions make me stronger. I will overcome. I am tough. I am a military child. My mom and dad, they serve and fight for freedom. I'm part of a community that's strong, brave, and resilient. I am a military child. Sacrifices, big emotion, they're all part of my journey in this season. We do it all for our country. I have the courage to endure. I will overcome. I am tough. I am a military child. My mom and dad, they serve and fight for freedom. I'm part of a community that's strong, brave, and resilient. I am a military
What a wonderful song and message that many of us can relate to. It is my honor to introduce today's keynote speaker, Sergeant Major David A. Wilson. And because he just gave me the bless off, I can cut through a little bit of his very long and experienced biography. But what I will say as I read through this man, as a 32-year retiree myself, this man was the number first one in numerous leadership classes, advanced promotions through several throughout. He was in several senior leadership positions to where he is now. He's a very experienced Marine, very experienced service member, has a lot of knowledge of everything, and has served our country in great opportunities throughout that I'm amazed when I read this bio. But it's very lengthy, and he actually said I could cut it short to not overly bore y'all. But the one thing I will say that I will acknowledge on are his personal decorations, which do include the Legion of Merit, 3rd Award, Bronze Star Medal with Valor Device, Meritorious Service Medal, 3rd Award, Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, 4th Award with Valor Device, the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, 2nd Award with Valor Device, and the Combat Action Ribbon, 2nd Award. Please join me in welcoming Sergeant Major David A. Wilson.
That's awesome. Yeah, ask Rick to cut that short. Nobody wants to hear paragraphs about themselves, and you don't want to hear paragraphs about a stranger sitting in the corner of the room. How about a big round of applause for everybody here? I am not normally a podium person. I like to move around a little bit, but I understand there's a microphone and a connection to the outside world that I need to respect. So I am going to stay stationary here. What an honor it is to be in this room with such incredible kids, such incredible parents, such an incredible leadership hierarchy that wants to ensure that those truly deserving people get recognized for who they are and what they sacrifice and how it means something a little bit different. Man, I look over at this table of swag. Have you been eyeballing this over here? You see that? There's a big old frame certificate. There's a signed declaration. There is a football with your name on it. That's fantastic right there. I didn't have any of that when I was your age, because I don't think I was the kind of kid y'all are. You know what I think I had when I was your age? I think I had some beat up posters on my wall, a stack of beat up baseball cards sitting in the corner, and a 9th place Little League trophy. If I'm bragging, also a 9th place bowling trophy. So I was mediocre in 2 different sports, if you're picking up what I'm putting down here. You're outstanding. You're outstanding in your chosen endeavors. You're outstanding in being people, just being incredible people. I think some of our previous speakers, Dr. Washington, Secretary Emmalyn, they got to the center of it. The song talked about it. What is this life that you didn't choose, that your parents chose, that's different? How is it different? And I think about it in this way. I've deployed to combat and many other places many times over the years. All of that was my choice. I rose my right hand, and I felt like I was part of a team that I wanted to be a part of, and I went forward with those teams and ended up in some tough places, all by my own choice. And there was never a single time during any one of those circumstances, even the toughest times, where there's real danger and there's bullets flying and there's things exploding around you. Never once did I ever look around, and I could have looked 360 degrees in every direction, and I could have seen somebody else, many somebody else's, going through exactly what I was going through. I had a team of people that would relate directly to what I was experiencing. And in that way, it's not just hardship, it's shared hardship. Most of us can't lift a telephone pole as big and heavy and awkward as it is, but oh man, give me a team. Give me a team and I can lift that. I can lift it off of somebody who's trying to carry it themselves. There's something special about that. I've noticed over the years that my family has had a different set of circumstances, some of which they didn't choose. I think my wife knew there were hardships in marrying a service member, but it's hard to contextualize exactly what that means. And for my son, whose experience mirrors yours probably most closely, he didn't sign up for any of it. He was thrust into it. He was born into it. This was the life that he knew. And he adapted. And he was resilient. And he was strong. There were times, many times, when I had a team to help shoulder the burden, and my wife and son did it on their own. They figured it out. We do it best when we find a team around us, when we have people that we can count on. That's what the family is. That's what our friends provide. That's what a community feels like when you tap into it. Don't forget that. You're special. Your parents are special. They chose to do something extra. It's why they're not always around. They're doing extra. They're part of 1% of the population who qualifies to and chose to serve. That is a narrowing down to less than 1% of the population. And they probably say things like honor and courage and commitment, and they don't just say those as words. They're part of who they are. It's part of who they want you to be. And you get it. Clearly by your scholastic endeavors, your endeavors in sports, your endeavors into the community and helping others, in doing extra. You're different. You're different in a way that's pretty noteworthy. That's why your name's on a football. It's also something that you can build upon from here. You're going into adulthood. You're going to be leaders in the community, because you know what it's like to be part of a team that shoulders a heavy load. You know what it's like to have to reconcile a sacrifice that somebody else may have chosen, but you're part of. You may have to recognize circumstances that seem inherently unfair and might crush somebody else. I think about strength and resilience and those words, and the image that pops into my head is a gym full of weights. Those are things that if dropped from a height, or if thrown on top of someone who was unwilling and unready to lift them, could kill them, could crush them. But if you willingly walk into a gym every single day and you lift the weight that you can, you'll find that tomorrow you can lift more, and the next day you can lift more, and so on and so forth. And if you make a habit of that for your life, there are circumstances that you will face that would crush anybody else, because you're choosing to do something extra every single day. And I got a distinct feeling that you'll continue to do that. I'm reminded of this story, and I think this is what I think of when I think of life and challenges. And you're going to face more. You're not at the end of anything. Your young faces indicate to me that you are at the beginning of so many somethings. What does that mean? It means circumstances are coming. They are going to come. If you could stand there still and not walk out into the street, and they're still coming. Life happens all around you, with us and to us. And there's things that you can control, and there's things that you can't, and you'll have to sort those things through. But there's a story, funny enough, sitting on the airplane, scrolling through my phone like people do. I don't even think you're legally allowed to talk to the person next to you anymore. And I came across this story, and I'm not going to tell you it exactly as I read it, but it stuck with me. It's a story about a donkey. It's a donkey, and I relate to the donkey. I think about the donkey's life, and I think about the life of a military service member, the life of a child of a military service member, and I go, man, there's a lot of weight to carry. That's what a donkey does. A donkey carries a lot of weight. There's a lot of thankless jobs. There's a lot of things you just got to do. They're hard things, and there's no big, giant prize at the end. And you've done 1,000,000 of those things in your life. I relate to the donkey. The donkey does all that hard work and then lives outside and is happy with the grass that the donkey gets to eat. So I do relate to the donkey in this story. Donkey's walking along one day, and he falls into a well, 40 feet, poof, hits the bottom of this well in a pile of donkey fur and hooves. He lives. He's all right, but he's stuck at the bottom of this well. He looks all around him. He's used to wide open spaces and hills to climb, and he feels trapped. Doesn't have anywhere to go. Wall all the way around him. Nowhere to go down, no way to get up. He's got donkey hooves, not fingers, to grasp the wall and climb himself out. He stays down there for a while. He waits. Maybe somebody will rescue him. The farmer comes along. The farmer owns the field, owns the well, owns the donkey, comes by, hears the honking sound of a donkey at the bottom of the well, puts 2 and 2 together, peers over the edge, and he sees what's occurred. And the farmer thinks for a second. He's a pragmatic person, and he thinks, you know, that well is dry and that donkey is old. I'm going to solve 2 problems at once right now. He grabs a shovel, and he sticks it in the ground, and he fills it with so many piles of dirt and rocks, and he chucks them down the well. Well, the donkey don't like that. Donkey's trapped, stuck, looking for help, nowhere to go. And now piles of dirt and rocks are coming from the very person who's supposed to take care of them. And he's honking and screaming. He's making every donkey noise known to humankind to let somebody know that he's in a circumstance that's just inherently unfair, not right, and he's in trouble. And the farmer just keeps shoveling. After a while, it's no more donkey noises. All that honking, all that screaming, all that kicking is over. The farmer didn't even stop shoveling. He just kept going. In his mind, he probably thought, 1 job done, but there's probably several more feet of well to fill. And he just kept working at it. After a couple hours, farmer wants to check his progress, walks over to the edge of the well, peers over, and sure enough, he filled that well. That thing's just this close to the very top of the lip. But to his utter dismay and absolute shock, The donkey is standing on top of all of it. Because he actually did have a choice. No way out of the well. 40 feet up. Stuck. Nowhere to go, donkey hooves. But as circumstances that were seemingly worse fell upon him, the things that would bury him, he realized something. That he did have a choice. That pile of dirt that was forming on his back, if he just shook a little bit and sloughed it off himself, he could step up on this much ground, one shovelful at a time. And the very thing that might kill somebody might save him if he was willing to do what you've done your whole life. Take tough circumstances, shake them off, and step up. Step right on top of the thing that would kill you. And if you do that enough times in a row, you can climb out of anything. You can rise up. And there'll be times in your lives, your very young lives, already as accomplished as you are, where somebody or a whole group of somebodies, a whole room of somebodies, a whole battalion of somebodies will look at you and you'll find a way. I think there's some lessons in that story. One, if you're the farmer and you're shoveling dirt, on somebody or something that you're responsible for, and then that living creature finds a way out of it, you might learn something. You might learn that your treatment of others really matters. And that while the toughest amongst us might be able to rise up on the dirt we shovel on somebody, that it's a lot more helpful if you're in the farmer's position to figure out another way to do that. And then, of course, there's the lesson of the donkey. Shake it off, step up, and keep climbing. You've done that already in your young lives. And this world, this country, the people who know you and look to you for guidance, wisdom, they need you to keep going. I'm so proud to be here today. So proud to be here amongst you and your families and the folks that have set up this entire event. Last thing, the lighting in this room is off just slightly. Some of these military Child of the Year nominees are going to appear taller than me when we all come up to the front. Just wanted to give everybody an admin note that these military Child of the Year nominees looking taller than me is a pure optical illusion. And even if it looks that way on camera, and even if we line up to a tape and we actually scientifically prove that you're taller than me, also probably still the lighting. So proud of you. God bless you all. Thank you for everything that you do for your community and your state and your country. God bless, and Semper Fidelis.
Thank you, Sergeant Major Wilson. Today, the Military Child of the Year semifinalists will receive a signed proclamation from the North Carolina governor Josh Stein, which reads, State of North Carolina, Josh Stein, Governor, Month of the Military Child, 2025, by the Governor of the State of North Carolina, a proclamation. Whereas the strength of our armed forces comes from our brave service members and their families who serve on behalf of our great nation. And whereas military children face unique challenges, such as changes of station, parent deployments, caring for wounded parents, or coping with the ultimate loss of fallen parents. And whereas North Carolina is dedicated to further strengthening our state's longstanding relationship with the Department of Defense and Department of Homeland Security, in part by providing the unique support and active outreach that our state's military communities and families need. And whereas the North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs manages and maintains the North Carolina Scholarship for Children of Wartime Veterans in appreciation for the service and sacrifices of the North Carolina War veterans. And whereas the Military Child Care in Your Neighborhood Plus program is expanding in North Carolina to help military families pay for high-quality child care, providing military children a strong foundation to learn and thrive while allowing service members to do their jobs. And whereas the Month of the Military Child presents an opportunity to recommit to providing our military communities with the necessary resources to support public education, strengthen essential infrastructure, and address the needs of over 85,000 military children in North Carolina, whose parent or guardian serves our nation as a member of our armed forces. And whereas the state of North Carolina encourages our communities, local and state government leaders, private organizations, and businesses to join in commending the children and youth of military families for their exceptional devotion to their loved ones serving as members of the armed forces. Now, therefore, I, Josh Stein, Governor of the State of North Carolina, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Month of the Military Child in North Carolina and commend its observation to all citizens. Josh Stein, Governor. At this time, I will call the military child semifinalists to come forward and then ask Secretary Millett and Sergeant Major Wilson to come up and present awards and recognitions, starting with the proclamation. Emily Baldeosingh. Yeah. Emily. Go on. Noah Davis. No, yeah, y'all gonna line what we talked about.
Just do whatever you do. Okay, I'm ready to take that.
Nevaeh, no.
Okay, what are we doing?
They're gonna do a line.
They're gonna make a line. Yeah, they're gonna make a line.
Stand aware.
We're over here, Secretary. I knew that.
Nevaeh Jassy. Hannah Kirksey. Anthony Rick Williamson. And Isabella Smith. Okay. Y'all can stand up front. They're gonna come up.
All right. I'm right here. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Emmalyn, no, Emmalyn, you go on. Yeah.
One
Yeah.
at a time.
One at a time, and you go.
Okay, got you. All right. You hold that.
Okay.
Congratulations. So awesome. All right.
No.
It's the same.
We'll get to the individual name once in a minute. All the cool stuff.
Hey, parents, don't be shy. Right here.
Yeah.
You did great.
Hannah? Yeah. We're going to do this like 5 more times, so just get used to it.
We're probably all looking at 3 different cameras. Look how tall you are. Just the lighting. Just the lighting.
So lighting. Oh, no, Isabel.
Yeah, come on up. You don't get a picture. Well done. Congratulations.
And now, yep. This is a congratulatory letter from Secretary Millett to each semifinalist. The other recognition items each semifinalist will receive today are provided by organizations which value our military and their families. The Carolina Panthers provided individually personalized footballs recognizing this great achievement. And then we'll put you on each end, yeah. Dave.
Oh, now we go
For this-
over here.
For this one,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And the Carolina Hurricanes provided swag bags with goodies in them.
We do get to toss those around later. You do? Yeah, you're the quarterback.
It's organized chaos. At this time, I'll ask Councilwoman Dr. Angela Washington to come forward and present a certificate from the City of Jacksonville to each semifinalist. This certificate reads as Certificate of Recognition, Military Child of the Year Semifinalist 2025, presented by the City of the Jacksonville City Council.
Yeah, they hold it, we just.
Yep.
This way.
Yeah, slide.
We're scooching. There you go. Yeah, right in the center. You're one step. There you go. Right there. You, that's perfect. I know. Okay, no, your turn. All right. Come on, we, yeah. Hardest part of this whole thing.
This is special because Anthony was my former student.
I was the only freshman in her health class.
You too? I was too.
Okay, yeah. All right, thank you, Dr. Washington.
Well done. Congratulations.
Okay, you too. Thank you, Dr. Washington, and the City of Jacksonville. Secretary Millett will now present a proclamation to Sergeant Major Wilson on behalf of North Carolina Governor Josh Stein and the North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. In appreciation of him taking the time to be here and speak today. He is a busy, busy man.
This is going right next to my 9th place bowling. Above it.
So we're going to take some photos. On behalf of Josh Stein, Secretary Millett, North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, and the City of Jacksonville, we would like to thank everyone for their attendance in supporting and recognizing these extraordinary military family members. This concludes our program. Please give us a few minutes to take photos with all the recognition items, and feel free to enjoy. Actually, did the City of Jacksonville have refreshments this time? I didn't see those out there beforehand. Okay. Apologize for that. That was, afterwards, you'll have time to congratulate our Military Child Year semifinalists and take as many photos individually as you would like. Thank you.